Hey Numpties, Carl here. Today we're over at my girlfriend's father's shop. We're going to be installing Turbosmart Kompact blow-off valve on a recirculating valve on Paul's ST. Behind me, it's 2014. Mostly stock, just Roush intake. That's about it. So let's get started. Oh. Use the impact hands, get the lug nuts off. Puppy we're going for is behind this wiring harness, this here. Little vacuum line to her. And then there's 3 bolts. One up top, one right there, and one behind this bracket that you can't see. Yeah, that doesn't seem too terribly hateful. Feels like this plate comes off, the plastic giblet comes out, stuff goes in. Alright, best way not to strip out Allen bolts like this. I got my extension on the 5mm Allen that's in there. That's what those bolt sizes are. Just take the old hammer and give your extension a nice love whack. Use a pair of little needle nose pliers, get the vacuum line off there, little metal clamp, just get it, pull it back. Alright, so in there's a little wiring harness onto what looks like some sort of boost regulation piece that's mounted also on the recirculating valve. It's right up here, just comes right off. Press that tang, pull it, good to go. Gets nicely out of the way. There's a bolt right behind that little axle mount bracket. Kind of a pain in the ass to get to. Use a long 5mm Allen if you have one, or a hex key, and then break it loose that way, because with the extension on there's no real way, or with the big socket there's no real way to do that without taking that top bolt out, and that's unnecessary pain in the ass. Alright, Harbor Freight long reach 5mm Allen fits right in there. Extension on it. Remember to give it a love tap in the bolt head. Just make sure it's in 100% so you don't strip the bolt out. And then, as always with Harbor Freight tools, be gingerly on them, because you know Lou will fucking break at the first sign of any sort of real muscle behind them. Alright, top one's also kind of a pain in the ass to get to, so I'm using a wobble extension. If you don't have those, get a universal joint. If you don't have that, good luck, because there's kind of a frame rail in the way of having it come straight out. Plate holds it to the turbo. When you pull it apart, you'll get this whole gibblety mess. Here's the original valve. It's rubberized. It's got like aluminum insert in there. Little dinky weak spring in the backing plate. So what happens in there? Got all the boost pressure up against here. When it deems the wastegate needs to open, you'll get a vacuum reference to here. That'll tip, what I say, tip the scale. It'll basically pop it open, because it seats in a bore like this. My palm is where the most of the air mass would be. So when the vacuum hits, it goes poof, and then bypasses around, and then goes right back into the intake. The new valve obviously is a nice solid chunk of aluminum. There's the same piston in there with a little bit more ass behind it. You can see this slot here gives enough air into the non-compressed intake side to make it happy. But then sneaky little bastards put this there, and that gives you the nice whoosh. Alright, so the hardware that comes with the kit, stainless, same 5mm hex. Because the turbo housing is aluminum, you have to use anti-seize. If you don't, you'll get basically galvanic corrosion, which happens due to dissimilar metals. And then when you need to pull that out again for whatever reason to service or clean it, it is going to be a complete, utter pain in the ass. And you might end up breaking some bolts, which is no fun. So, anti-sneeze. Remember to get all the bolts in started first before you try to tighten them. If you don't do that, you're going to have a bad time trying to get them all in. Alright, just give them a little bit of an oomph. Don't go too crazy with tightening them. Fish for your vacuum hose. Here it is. Be careful with these hoses, they like to break. Alright, now she's in there. Make sure all your bolts are tight, make sure the vacuum line's in, make sure the plug right there is in as well, and then you shouldn't have any issues. As long as everything's snug, you didn't cut an O-ring on the way in, and yeah, all should be good to go. Now to put the wheel back on. Alright, that's basically it. Do little sound clips here comparing old to new in a minute, but it took me 20 minutes if that. So, you know, if you had an operable lift right now, probably 10 minutes honestly. If I felt like breaking out air tools, faster yet. But if you got basic hand tools, should be done 20 minutes, half an hour, depending on how incompetent you are. So, yeah, enjoy it. Stock blow-off valve noise, or recirculating valve, which is nothing. Alright folks, thanks for watching. This is my installation of the Turbosmart 50/50 blow-off valve, recirculating valve, whatever the hell you want to call it. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more of this thing getting built, subscribe over here, yonder. I'll put something up here, I don't know. Like, and then tell me if I did something wrong, or tell me if you liked it, tell me if you hated it. Either or, doesn't matter. Let me know. Peace.